welcome back to part 6 of Pokemon Blue, and today we're heading our way to Bill's house, but first, I'm gonna catch me some Pokemon.
Hey, you not catch anything else?
Later on I'll get some more. I'll get a full team, yes, but right now we're gonna catch an Abra.
Why?
Because it's a Psychic type. Psychics are the most broken Pokemon that there is, and I'm glad
And
give
why
me
is that?
I think we mentioned last time
Did
that's
we?
the special.
In fact, it only has like what, one weakness?
In this game, one weakness, which is Bug. But there ain't too many bug moves other than like Twin Needle from Beedrill. Maybe Lynch Slash, but that probably would do a whole lot of damage. But anyway, we're gonna talk about some inventory items, like the Pokeball, for example. Cole, how many Pokeballs were introduced in this generation?
Well, there's the normal Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
There is a Great Ball. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then an Ultra Ball.
Yes.
And then the Master Ball.
Mm-hmm. So let's go down the list of what's the differences between each balls. The Pokeball.
It's basically just a simple, normal. It has like nothing really to it. And then a Great Ball is basically, it has a higher chance of catching the Pokeball than a normal Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ultra Ball is even better. It has a higher chance of catching a Pokemon than the Great Ball.
Okay.
And then
finally,
the Master Ball, it has a 100% chance of catching the Pokemon.
yeah, mainly yes. There is a statistic where there is I don't know if it was in, but it's less than 1% chance that it might actually fail. But it's a really, really big number for it to fail. So if it does somehow manage to fail, you have some of the worst luck that I have ever met.
Or it could be lucky since it's so rare to happen.
I don't think so.
It could be since it's so rare for it to happen.
I don't think so. But, alright, what's the best way to catch Pokemon other than just to throw it at it then?
Well, another thing is that if you lower the Pokemon's HP, you will increase the chance of you catching it.
Mm-hmm.
You can also do things like stash it with some paralysis, poison, and stuff. That also increases the chance of it. There's actually, I think there's one more Pokeball that we forgot. And that is something that you can't really buy or get. I think that's the Safari Ball. That's only available in the Safari Zone.
We'll talk about Safari Zone later because I do show that off, so we'll talk about that when that time comes. But as you probably noticed, I already switched to Abra and keep switching out. That's because Abra can't really learn no moves unless I teach it some TMs, but I don't do that, so what I'm doing is putting out Abra first and switching up for another Pokemon to get some experience points. Now, when you start doing that with Pokemon, you pretty much are sharing experience and not get the same. So, let's just say if I defeat this Spearow that has let's put on number 16. If I start with Abra and switch to a Pikachu, the experience gets split in half. So instead of 16, Abra gets 8, Pikachu gets 8. That's how it works. So I'm going to be doing this for a while until we get to level 16 to get Kadabra to learn Confusion. And then this little trading off sequence won't be so bad.
There is an item, I don't know if it's in Generation 1, it's called EXP share. I don't know if it is in Generation 1. I think it is in Generation 2.
I know it starts in Generation 2, but I'm not sure if it is. If it is, I don't know how it works, to be quite honest with you. Now, let's talk about some more items. Let's talk about the proteins and the irons and the calciums and stuff like that. Why are those important?
Well, there are certain stats of Pokemon like attack, defense, speed, and special.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on like how much damage you do, depends on like your attack and how high the attack is, and it also depends on your opponent's how their defense is.
Mm-hmm.
With these little items, you can increase them by like 1.
Okay.
I think it increases it by 1.
Now, is it infinite?
No.
And what's the cap at it then?
I don't know. Is it 10?
I believe so. I think you can only use capsules to help increase it now, unless it hits. That may not be the case if you get it to like level 100 or something. I think it quits doing that, but you can naturally do that. I think if you just catch the Pokemon and give it, you can get it up to 10 more times until it does not work.
Do you know which one does what?
Well, we do have the protein, which I believe boosts up your attack. Iron boosts up defense. Carabus does speed. Calcium does special. And I do believe, I want to say HP plus does your HP, and while it's PP plus, which is your power points, which does moves like Thunderbolt and whatnot.
Yeah, it depends on how much you can use of that move.
Yeah.
You do have a certain limit. Some of the stronger moves tend to have less PP.
Mm-hmm. But they hit.
Yeah. And they also, yeah. Another thing is that you can run out of PP on your moves, but in Generation 1, the trainers and stuff cannot.
Yeah.
They have infinite on each move.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in Yellow they changed that to where it could. I think it was Generation 2 that.
Now let's talk about what happens if you happen to run out of PP.
Well,
in every single move that you have available.
Yeah. If you cannot use any moves that all fall to PP drains, you get this one move. It's called Struggle.
Okay.
I don't know how much damage it does. I do know it's classified as a normal attack.
Mm-hmm.
It does a little bit of damage to the opponent while doing a little bit damage to yourself.
Mm. Yeah.
But if you run out of it, that's not it forever. You can restore it by healing at Pokemon centers or using ethers and elixirs instead.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all about. We talked about rare candy last time and stuff like that.
Potions are kind of acids.
I think that granted, what we said, everybody knows already.
Yeah.
But we just like to illustrate, what knowledge that we have here.
Sure, yeah.
As we're kind of just going through a lot of these trainers here and kind of grind a little bit. And just to give you a heads up, I did mention we're going to do the Mew trick, which can be done in this area, but I kind of just fight all the trainers here and do the Mew glitch on a different file, but won't show it off till later. So if we say something about the Mew glitch, don't worry about it, even though I might fight the specific trainer and whatnot.
You can
use it against, I will show it off later. It's just I just tend to go fight all the trainers that's available and show off the glitch later. But I'm sure at this point everybody knows about the Mew glitch. But I won't show off the 2 trainers you need to use it.
Another thing is, some moves, there are things called accuracy, which basically determines if your move can hit.
Yeah, it's kind of like
and evasion.
Yeah, they're like 2.
They're kind of a hidden stat that doesn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
They're depending on move.
Yeah.
There are some moves that cannot miss. Not a whole lot of them, but there are some moves that have a very low chance.
Mm-hmm.
There's also some moves I believe that automatically either make you go first, a priority move like Quick Attack.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some moves, I don't know if Generation 1 has it, but there are some moves that automatically make you go last.
Not that I can think of.
I know Counter is one, but I think that's in Generation 2 at first.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Counter, I believe it's probably the only one I can think of at this point. But I'm not too sure. It's been a long time since I had the Pokemon that had to use the Counter. Which is done if it's done well, but you can easily screw it. It could be easily screwed up if not timed right. It's all about timing with that move.
Another thing is that you wanted to mention a move called Disable and how that works.
Sure, if you want to go ahead and use that. I think that's the only thing we didn't really mention last time. About stat abilities.
Are you going to explain that?
Yeah, it's just it is what the word means. Disable. Disable allows you not to use a certain move that it disabled. Now, don't worry. Don't think you can keep using disable to disable every maneuver. It just disables one move in particular. It's not like, your last move. It's just some random move. And that's like the second or third time I've seen Pikachu die to this part. I can't wait to get that thing to Raichu.
Another thing is flinching. Certain moves can flinch an opponent, which basically prevents the opponent from attacking or doing anything.
Yes.
But you have to go first for the flinch.
Yeah, because if the opponent goes first and you hit the move, it don't really flinch you in the next turn. That's the only two moves I can think of in this generation that does flinching is Bite and Rock Slide. It's the only two moves I can think that can do flinching.
Another thing is a move called Protect.
No, that's not until Generation 2.
I thought Protect was in Generation 2.
No. Protect's in Generation 2. We'll get to that sometime down the road, but it seems... There we go. That's the end of that battle.